One, that my safety in South Africa is not okay. I am seeking my safety to be considered, that the government of South Africa should assure me of my safety, as I have said that my safety is not okay. I have opened a case where I'm looking forward to have feedback from the government.
South African government spokesperson Phumla Williams says Prophet Shepherd Bushiri has no right in making demands in order to stand trial in South Africa.
This man has broken the law in this country. She has left illegally in this country. And I don't think it is his space to put in demands on the South African government. We have afforded him a process in court to go and clear his name. She has been granted bail, of which he has actually abused. The courts have afforded him a bail and conditions. He has violated those conditions, and she cannot then ask the South African government to interact with him via the platform that he chooses. He must come back to South Africa and face the full might of the law. What we have been informed is that all the documentation for traveling were to be submitted, and they have been submitted. What I'm not sure whether those documentations that were submitted were defined as diplomatic, but they did comply to the court order of submitting all their traveling documentation. Whether they are in the form of a diplomatic, I don't have the document with me, but I think it can be confirmed with the police at a later stage today. Maybe what I can do, I can verify that. But the point I'm making is that even if she left, she has not used the legal route of using that passport through our port and exit.
She says South Africa has no reason to abuse him, but the law of the country has to take its course.
We have no reason to abuse Mr. Bushiri. Mr. Bushiri is going to have to deal with clearing his name through the established court processes that exist in this country.
She was reacting to the extradition process that South Africa has begun to bring Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife back into South Africa to face the full might of the law.
I've also indicated in our statement that we have started the process of extraditing Bushiri back into the country using the SADC protocol of extradition between the neighboring countries, and that process commenced. One of the requirements is that we need to obtain the warrant of arrest so that it then forms the basis of applying for the extradition. So that process was started over the weekend, and we will be briefing South Africans where the process is. But yes, I confirm that we have started that process of extraditing Bushiri back into our country.
She says the courts are finalizing the documentation to be sent to the Malawian government, which contains the warrant of arrest of the prophet and his wife for breaking the laws of the country.
You don't start the process by just verbally. I think the Malawian government is correct to say we will start acting once the paperwork is on our table. And I'm saying we have started the paperwork over the weekend, and one of the important requirements in the documentation that is dispatched to Malawi is the warrant of arrest. So once the paperwork has been prepared and it is sent to Malawi, then at that point you can actually say, yes, the documentation is with them. But starting the process, we started it over the weekend.
Reports say the return of Prophet Bushiri to his home country, despite being on bail in South Africa on charges of fraud and money laundering, has threatened to cause a diplomatic spate between the two countries. Speculations were rife that Prophet Shepherd Bushiri left the country on the private jet of the Malawian President Lazarus Chakwera, who visited South Africa last week for diplomatic talks, but a government spokesperson denied the allegations.
There was a lot of media claiming that Bushiri left via the delegation of the President of Malawi. We have spent some time trying to verify not only the plane of the President of Malawi, but all our ports of entry. We became aware that Mr. Bushiri and the wife had violated the bail conditions of reporting to the police on Friday. because you will remember that the bail conditions were that they should submit their traveling documentation, and secondly, they were to report to the police twice a week. On Friday, when they did not report, we started the process of finding out what happened. So there is no truth that the president of Malawi used the plane to depart with Bushiri. And we have also verified most of our post-ports of entry. There is no entry of a person called Bushiri and the wife exiting our shores. So that we can confirm to South Africans that the legal process of the delegation of Malawi did not participate in exiting Mr. Bushiri.